Right ventricular waveform. In this right ventricular tracing, the scale is set from 0 to 25 millimeters mercury. Quantitative assessment of ventricular tracings includes commenting on three values: the systolic pressure, the early diastolic pressure, and the end diastolic pressure. The systolic pressure represents the maximum pressure value present during ventricular contraction and corresponds to the QRS complex on the electrocardiogram tracing. In this tracing, the systolic pressure is present here with a value of 21 millimeters mercury. Normal right ventricular systolic pressure is between 15 and 30 millimeters mercury. The early diastolic pressure represents the minimum value present during ventricular relaxation. The early diastolic pressure is negative deflection immediately following the systolic pressure. In this tracing, the early diastolic pressure is represented here with a value of 0. The end diastolic pressure represents the maximum value present during ventricular relaxation. The end diastolic pressure is the inflection point before the start of the ventricular contraction and occurs immediately before the start of the QRS complex. In this tracing, the end diastolic pressure is present here with a value of 4. Normal right ventricular end diastolic pressure is between 0 and 8 millimeters mercury. Qualitative assessment of the ventricular waveform includes commenting on the relative slope of the upstroke and downstroke associated with the systolic, early diastolic, and end diastolic values. Ventricular tracings can be distinguished by the presence of a single waveform for each QRS complex. In ventricular tracings, the third number that appears in the printout is in parentheses and represents the EDP, end diastolic pressure. In all other pressure tracings, the value in parentheses represents the mean pressure.